welcome back to Chats with Jack. I am Jack Talcott. And greetings, blessings, salutations, and love. Once again, welcome back to Chats with Jack. I am Jack Talcott, and I am sincerely excited to get started again today. For all of you, praise God. Join me in that idea, that thought, whatever that word means. Just praise for a moment. Praise the moment. Greetings and blessings to all who find these words, whether you're with me in the present time of breath, with me, or at a future time of breath. Whenever you find these words, greetings and blessings to you. May your heart shine with a smile today. A smile in the heart, man. That's what's just sitting here with me, with love. I'm having fun today. The topic, finding space for the divine. Oh, my mind. It's been so heavenly so far. And I look forward to the conversation. So I'm prepared. I'll probably drop the link here pretty soon, and we'll see how the day unfolds. Blessings to all of you. I love that people are swinging through and joining in. This Talcott Express, man. Is this foretelling a train wreck Wednesday? Well, every day you tune in, man, anything is possible. You start opening the link up and engaging with human beings. Holy cows, man. Holy cows. We are off the rails, folks. And actually, the more I thought about it, the more it's kind of true. This Talcott adventure, the Talcott Express that we're a part of, I'm conducting conceptually from here. Oh, praise God. The orchestra comes together and it gets a little chaotic at times. But regarding we're off the rails, folks, well, I like to think we're breaking new trails. More importantly, uh-oh. Welcome, Truther Cop.
Yeah, I want to tell you, your systems have been hacked by Neo Antifa. You're going to have to deal with it. We have a very special guest possibly appearing here today, but I didn't mean to interrupt you. Did I pop up here? This was an impact on... Sorry. We're just trying to get in the backstage here. Neo Antifa and technology is not working too well. I'm going to drop that here. Sorry.
Here, blessings. Holy cows. You never know what's going on with this Talcott adventure. So here, I like to think these live streams, I like to think we're breaking new trails. Can you see yourself as breaking trails in your adventure? Can you find the joy in the journey through life? That's the key to a happy life, is to be with joy and happiness. So thank you to all who have found the Talcott Express, Chats with Jack, whatever this kind of is here on YouTube, whatever this is. Thank you, man. I wouldn't be me without you, man. Each of us. This is a thought I was thinking about earlier. The divinity of God, man. How crazy is it? Consider this observation. Well, let me back up. A little forewarning of what I'm doing, what I'm sharing. If you just sit back, especially if it's convenient for you, and if it's not convenient now, I encourage you to check back in later, listen again even. You might find things you might have missed, because I know how I speak. I know how sometimes it takes time. Time is God's gift. There's a perfect unfoldment and a perfect revealing of all things at all times. And time is right now. Now is when we live. It's always been now. It'll always be now. And if you can't find comfortable in the now, then where are you going to live? And I know life brings pains and temporary discomforts, but the idea is to allow yourself the freedom to grow, to change, to overcome, because that's the true key to the physical and spiritual game, is to be able to adapt, right? Building on lessons learned, right? Incorporating new strategies, new wisdoms, new tools, growing in you so that you can create a greater experience. I heard it pointed out, and it makes sense, as you go on your path of development in life in all sorts of different ways, from a child into an adult and so forth. But as you go through life and seek to grow yourself, new levels bring new devils. There's new challenges, new lessons. Every one of us is living this different story, incarnation. We're just different chapters in the evolution of life, individually and collectively. It's a whole bunch of stories being created. What are stories? Stories are just words, man. They're ideas. So who I am to you in your world, who you are, you're real. You're the real one in your world. I'm just an idea in your mind. And here, I'm sitting here alone talking to myself. So you are just a thought in my mind. And so if we think we're real, but we're really just thoughts in each other's minds, then wow, then what's up? You let go. You surrender. And you find comfort in the fact that you don't know everything. And there is actually an intertwinement. There's an interconnectivity between each and every one of us being me and you. If you're around others, it includes them. If you think of others, I'm referring them as well. There's an interconnectivity of all of us. It's found not only through the golden chain. There's a golden chain, if you can imagine this, a golden chain of knowledge. See, truth, wisdom, that's the true gem. That's the true value. So this golden chain of knowledge, it makes a connection throughout time and throughout different beings. And it comes in many different forms. So the topic today, finding space for the divine, recognizing your divinity so that you have the space to allow for all things. Because in my mind, that's what the divine is. It's the perfection. It's freedom. Freedom is divine, but what does freedom mean? It's without limits, without boundaries and limits, without restrictions. You find the infinite. So the divine is infinite. And so, I lost where I was going with that. Hey, I want to see where this goes. I don't want to put anyone on the spot either. So I'm going to go ahead and open up the link. I'm going to see what the universe brings forth in this mystical day and adventure of me and what is going on. Praise God. Finding space for the divine. What is divine? Perfect. What is perfect? Well, that depends on you and your definitions and your expectations. For those who want to join, we'll share space and time together for the divine to emerge. I know the divine is encouragement and inspiration. It's that which I seek and that which leads me. The divine is mystical. It's perfect. So finding space for the divine, realizing that you, while you are a physical you, what really makes you important is the essence of you. You're the vessel. Your body is the vessel which contains you, the essence of you. Okay, but just as, you know, a cup, its value is found in its emptiness, you know, so without space for it to hold something, to contain something, it doesn't really have a purpose. And that's what we are. Our bodies can be filled with, we can be just generating and pushing out, creating, or we can receive. But I think it's a combination of both. The point is if we empty ourselves of our limiting thoughts, we empty ourselves of external beliefs and traditions, rumored expectations. When we empty ourselves from all that, all the worldly nonsense, we become the space in the moment, in the place for the divine. And each of us is tools and instruments for the progression of life, individually, collectively. In a philosophical perspective, that's where I spend my mind. Philosophy, the love of wisdom. My mind and heart are united for this love of wisdom. I find it just, it fills me. And as I find wisdom and observations that bring me a little more wholeness and contentment, well, I hope to share it with you, whoever you might be, because we're here to create a better world together. Finding space in you for the divine to emerge. What is the divine? That which is righteous, that which is goodness. Each of us can become a tool for the divine, an instrument for the divine, especially when we allow our creative mind to wander. When we allow our minds to wander with innocence and purity, going to the heavenly realms, what's a creative idea? What would help improve the life or the life of that which is around me? Because if we can improve the life and the lives, the people who come into our experience, if we can improve their life in some way, that's where the rewards are. There's so many rewards in helping your neighbor, in helping someone you have no obligation to. That's even better. If you can find an opportunity to help a stranger, guess what you are? You're a miracle in their life. That's why we're here. It just makes sense to me. We are here to be the instruments, to be open, to receive that which life offers. Certainly, that's part of the lesson. Those who resist, judge, complain about the world, they're missing out on the point. Because the point is not to judge, but to save. That's what Jesus did. And those who follow him should be following his way. We're not here to judge. He was here to save. I'm not here to follow and help bring healing. Healing to our world is needed. Would you allow yourself to be healed? That's a question. Would you allow yourself to be healed in whichever aspect, not necessarily physically, but in relationships or financially? Would you allow yourself to be whole? Or is your lacking who you are, your identity? Are you wearing this badge of honor that I'm whatever, poor or weight stricken or whatever. Brothers and sisters, each of us, we're each on our own individual path through life. There's no denying that. Okay, that's a reality we got to accept. But we don't have to be cruel to each other. We don't have to be unkind to each other. One of the things I've realized, I've been toying with this idea recently. Okay, we are the expansion of consciousness here at this time in the universe. We were generated by the universe. Maybe it was aliens, maybe it was divine, but even the aliens goes back to the divine. However, mankind got here on Earth, we're here. Now, where was I going? Oh, I forgot where that thought was going. Stupidity. Oh, I've been thinking about the evolution, the expansion of consciousness through the form of experience, who I am, who you are, what we learn and perceive. It goes into the eternal records of mind and experience. Some people call it the Akashic records. There's infinite names for the infinite universe that has infinite potential and infinite explanations. We're part of the infinite. People who think they know things, right? A little bit of knowledge creates ignorance. Those who think they know things will often prove themselves to look stupid. In many ways, I've been that. I've done that. Unfortunately, I've learned from my lessons, okay? Take what I say. If it applies, if you can use it, great. If you can't, have fun hanging out, right? Whatever. But if you can learn from my mistakes, learn from the lessons I've learned. I know God had me go through this lifetime of mistakes. There's got to be a reason for it. Because now that I've changed my ways, man, I'm counting on things getting better, and they have. The reality is, if you go back, if you know me, or if you're interested, there's plenty of evidence and details of me, but I lived my life secure and obedient, and I was putting ahead for the future, but I was miserable and I was a sinner. I had no faith. I had no hope in anything other than what I knew. See, what I didn't know, I didn't know a lot. My pride and arrogance, I was so confident in my blame. I was so confident in my reasons. I had a lot of reasons to be angry. Oh, I had a lot of reasons to worry. Oh, I had all these reasons and excuses to be miserable. By the grace of God, I finally grew up. I don't know. By God's grace, all things are happening. It's truly by the goodness, the graciousness of God that we get to know each day. And I was thinking about it last night. I don't know how it's happened. I don't know how long it'll continue. But thank you, God, for allowing me to return to the comfort of a bed, of a pillow. Thank you for allowing my stomach to be filled with the nourishment I received today. Not everyone gets to go to bed at night saying those things. So, wow, I took myself way off track. Finding space. Are we real, or are we ideas in the mind? See, if you think something is real, then you give it attention. It gets energy. You think it's important. Well, without realizing it, of every moment of every day, we get to choose what we engage ourselves with, right? And what we engage ourselves with becomes important. And we create an attachment to different things, different people. It's a beautiful unfoldment of life. This day that we're experiencing, it's an incredible, magical unfoldment of energy and perspective. It's the development of consciousness. The light from God is in the awareness of each of us. See the truth, the wisdom that's necessary to be whole, to understand. The wisdom is eternal. Truth is eternal. The goal is to seek to grow in your truth, especially online, especially in these communities I found myself part of. There's a lot of people that like to argue over their little piece of the truth. My truth is right. Your truth is wrong. Blah, blah, blah. I'm better. You're worthless. You're a grifter. You're a hack. Blah, blah, blah. Praise God, man. Praise God. I am so grateful to be a part of this human experiment of YouTube and the online conversations. Hey, I've been kind of not paying attention. Panelverse, you before the stream even started, man. I received I received support and encouragement from you. Blessings to you. I don't know where I found you, but I found you and I noticed what you're doing, but I don't fully understand yet. You were hosted. Praise God, man. This is what I love about this online experience. There's so many things happening. There's no way to to pay attention to everything, is there? I'm not sure where the conversation, the consciousness. There's no limit to the potential within consciousness. Thank you. Within the mind. Within the mind, we have the ability to go beyond space and time. You can imagine far away. It's very easy. You can imagine things from the past. You can imagine future scenarios. You can escape time. Yeah, you can escape time and the limits of form through the mind. The mind is infinite. Be safe. Oops. Be safe. Thank you. Thank you for the contributions. Blessings to you and to all the chat, all the viewers. Bless even the haters, especially the haters, because, man, all is mind. And when you go beyond the mind, what you discover, all is heart, all is love. It's through the mind, though, that we find the reasoning, through the language, through the vocabulary. That's where we start finding the explanations and the definitions. But beyond the limits of the mind, where our limits happen in the mind, right? Because you got to bring time in to the equation in some things, in many things. We only exist moment by moment by moment. You can only consider things in the present moment. There's a lot of people, and I did this, and I want to encourage you, look at you. Pay attention to you, the activity of your mind. I used to spend a lot of time in the past. And while my mind was in the past, my son was missing out on my attention. People around me were missing out on my attention. I was missing out on my son, on the people around me. So learn from my mistakes. God has created a wise man in me. It only took me 50 years to try and get it out, to figure it out of me. The wisdom comes through experience. I've experienced a lot of things. Pain brings wisdom. Well, there have been little bits of pain, but God has been so good to me. That was my prayer earlier today. Thank you, God, for your kindness, your mercy. Compared to others, man, I've had it so easy. But this is what I mean. I made it tough on myself because I'm stubborn, fucking hard-headed. Oh, and I love to fight. Oh, especially verbally. Oh, I love to argue, man. It's like my favorite thing. But with wisdom, what I learned, it was my mouth. My mouth created the opportunities for me to have to learn how to fight, learn how to defend myself against physical reactions. Because, man, I got a sharp tongue. I can be cruel. I can expose things like, man, just make people look like fools. And that's kind of the intention I've had in the past, is I wanted other people to look as foolish as I felt. I wanted other people to hurt like I felt. I didn't understand how people could be so happy. What the fuck are you happy about? Do you not see the world that you live in? I mean, poverty is real. It sucks, man. Poverty sucks for those who have experienced it, or maybe you're experiencing it now. Toughen up. It does suck. So what? Things suck sometimes in life. It doesn't mean it's an excuse to be miserable. It doesn't create an excuse to be selfish. Yet, this is one of my thoughts and observations on the world we live in. Selfishness has been leading. Royalty, right? The billionaires, they're fucking selfish, dude. And the only way they have that power is not by controlling the masses, it's controlling the influencers of the masses. The billionaires, the corporate owners have known this for a long time. That's why they invest in buying your congressman, your senator. They fucking work for the paycheck, just like you do, just like everyone else does. It's a big old Ponzi scheme. The monopoly fiat system is a Ponzi scheme. It reveals the devious, selfish nature of mankind, which actually confirms a few different things. Hank, blessings to you. Much love. Much love to all of you who are here. Dominic, your regular. Gary, Dominator XXX42, Look Within. Chuck in Tennessee. Praise God, man. I'm learning. It's okay to fight when it's time to fight. The difference is when you have mercy on your adversaries, and their own or not. There's mercy in surrender. Not every battle is worth a fight. And I know how these words can be taken, but I know what they mean to me. So if you understand it's from my perspective, I don't know how they can be. Anyway, see, there's my insecurities. I don't want to be misunderstood. And in my efforts to avoid being misunderstood, I end up over-explaining. And as I'm over-explaining, I'm diverting from the meaning and the purpose of what I'm trying to share. Hello, Jack. I know. I know who I am, and I don't mean to be that way. Crap. Now, where was that thought? There's a perfect unfoldment of everything that's happening. From the idea of the infinite mind of God, from the mind of God, all things come into form. I allow that to be, okay? Because if I'm not making doubts, is there a God? Is there a creator behind what you're experiencing? Is there any connection between you and that? I'm starting with the presumption that God is the words described, omnipotent, omnipowerful, everywhere, right? It's that which is. From that mind of God, our mind is limited. Our own individual mind, we are limited by what we've learned. You don't know what you've not yet learned, nor do I. I found myself humbled to realize how much I do not know. There's details of history, things I thought I knew, things I thought I knew about the political system and the economic system, and thought I knew about religions. Well, turned out there was more to the story. And as God started allowing me to learn more of the story, pieces started coming together in my mind. I got a more clear picture of the world that we're living in. And it really is, comes down to God. And if you're going to go to God, you're going to refer back to Yeshua, Yahusha, Jesus, the Christ. You're going to refer back to the Christ, the anointed, the perfected. It was a creation from God, through God, for us. The example of Christ, the teachings, they're for us to learn from, not to control each other with. The idea is to embody the trueness of the infinite, finding space in your life for you to align you with the divine. Because the divine, God's trueness, is eternally present. From our perspective, we don't know what we don't know. And if we're so arrogant that we don't even listen, we think we know, even if, and here actually yesterday's stream was a beautiful example. For those who have been around, you may know, but I thought yesterday was a beautiful example of humanity unfolding. There was emotion shared, and these feelings and conversations were, I won't say the result, but it was the effect from many, many things of the past. And here we can, in more broad and general sense, besides my rambling, what I'm pointing at is, if we allow ourselves, memories of the past will cause us to recreate the same battles over and over and over every day. This Jack Talcott channel is evidence of that. There's many people, enemies, right? They get up each day convincing themselves they're this character, I'm that character, and their purpose is to destroy my character. For those who know who I'm pointing at, there's better use of our time, right? What I've been practicing for myself, and I encourage you, I invite you to join me in this idea, finding space and time for you to experience the divine. The divine is the heavenly. What is more heavenly than gratitude, appreciation, love, right? Celebration, praise. Every breath we have a choice. What do we do with that breath? What do we do with this moment? I suggest more consciously, more often. Pay attention to you. What is the realm in your mind? Is it a playground for the devil? Are you driving yourself nuts? Are you driving others nuts? Are you impatient, anxious, unsettled? If there's a constant battle in your mind, it means you have opportunities for peace to emerge, and it's available. Peace comes through clarity of the peace. An exercise I've been considering how do I best share this idea, this experience? Because we all know what the Buddhas were teaching. We all know this practice of the Buddhas and what Christ was teaching. We all know this state of being. It's a state of being that you may not notice. It's those moments where you're present, you're at peace, you have no battle. And maybe that's normal for you. There's people that I've heard, it seems to me they kind of grew up with that normal being in the present and just at peace. There's other people, right? Not to point blame, but other people's children were not raised with love and compassion and support. And so we've got a lot of grown men and women alive today. They're reenacting, working over and over, replaying the traumas and the memories of their past because they're broken. And hurt people hurt people. That's how we live in a world of the confused, where the selfish people are given power. How foolish is this? You don't give the selfish people power, you give the generous people power. You don't reward the liars, you reward those who are strong enough to speak the truth. We live in an inverted world. How do you fit in? Yesterday, the topic of the stream was finding your place. Today, I'm suggesting finding space for the divine. How is there space for the divine within you? If you're already filled, if you're filled with your judgments, your opinions, and you've got explanations and answers for everyone and everything, and you're filled with blame, well, there's no space. There's no space for resolve. There's no space for appreciation. There's no space for growth. Not if you're filled with darkness and contempt and judgment. No. That's not what those things are for, right? You're not supposed to carry burdens around yourself, emotional burdens, projecting those fears onto others. You experience what you experienced. Convince yourself you have the power. You have the power to heal you, especially emotional, intellectual, right? Spiritual. You have that power. Are you willing to use it? Are you willing to allow yourself to be healed? Are you willing to allow yourself to change? Are you willing to allow others to change? Or is it more important for you to be right? I'm broken. I'm hurt. It's their fault. It's this, it's that, it's blah, 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 blah. You have the choice every day. Every one of us has a choice. What are we going to do with our day, with our life? My life, your life. You get to choose you, nobody else. You don't even really get to choose your children, their lives. You don't get to tell them you will do this and you will do that, because they'll tell you, no, dude, fuck you. That's what I would have done. Hey, I'm really actually having some fun today. I'm just kind of flowing with flow and allowing what is to be. And this is a practice I've been learning. Sincerely, our whole purpose of life, it's to learn how to be greater than you were. Because in theory, you've never been, and there will never be another you ever. So the opportunity that the universe has given itself, the universe gave itself the opportunity to experience you. And it's today. Uniting with the divine, finding space for the divine, realizing the divine is the space. The form is just an interruption between the space, but the space between us is more real than the real that we think we are. The space is eternal. And it's from the space of potentiality, that's where the universe emerged, and that's through God, right? And what I think is God's will, God's grace, God's love, God's goodness, the awareness of God, and all these things, those are always available for each of us to remember, to reflect on, to align with. And it's up to each of us to choose. These lessons I've learned, the scriptures in the Bible, they confirmed my lessons. That's what happened in my life. The Bible confirmed what I experienced, and what I experienced for myself is I trust what I can point to, I describe as love. Moments, time in love, filled with pleasure and a wholeness and a faith. But I do wonder, brothers and sisters, there's been a little bit of growth in the subscribers. For those who are new, sincerely, thank you. I encourage you to stick around, because I have faith everything is aligned for miracles. If not the miraculous, then unbelievable. Because the miraculous and the unbelievable, that's truly the style of God. That's how God rolls, man. It's ordinary. Unbelievable and miraculous is the ordinary from God. That's like us too. See, there's an essence, there's a spirit of goodness through which we are, a spirit of goodness through which we are. And that spirit is the essence, what they call it, the ether, perhaps. But it's behind the air. It's the space between the electron and the nucleus. It's the space that's between things. I'm listening to myself, and I wonder, when did I stop making sense? In this particular conversation, I'm joking. I kind of lost track of where I was going, but finding space for the divine. The divine is perfect. If you can just accept that connection, sometimes perfect is good enough. And I actually think that's in line with the scripture, the story of Genesis. God created all things from its perfect being and instilled, shared its perfect nature. God created the heavens and the earth and says, it is good. Good enough for God. It's good enough for me. And if I realize that God is that which allows me to see, God is that which allows me to discover and to define and to bring meaning into things, that God that is with me is with you. It's what's moving us all. There's spirits. These spirits can be identified as emotions. The emotions of us, they're just symptoms. symptoms of the gateway of the mind, and your mind is a connection to the ultimate mind. I was wondering philosophically earlier today. I don't believe it's possible for us to make a wrong choice for our own individual life, because there's always consequences. I'm not saying there's not wrong choices. I'm saying that there's always an effect to every cause, and a choice is a clear cause. When we make a choice in life, we direct ourselves, and there brings forth rewards and consequences through every moment. Every moment is an unfolding of rewards and consequences of past choices, past moments. And the key I found is to choose to be at peace. Because when I'm at peace with the space for my mind to see things from multiple perspectives, I'm not attached to one argument. I'm not attached to one idea. I'm not repeating conflicts and memories. When I free my mind of the space of the attachments to the past, I cut away my attachments to my future desires or what I'm lacking. When I cut myself away from those, there is the space for the divine. And for me, the divine it's undeniable. And yet it's mysterious. It's powerful, yet subtle. The divine is the perfection, the Christic of the real. But we live in a world of pretend. People pretend that different things are real. And in their pretending that different things are real, people get misled. And then people who are misled, they're controlled. And the people who are controlled and misled, well, the people who are not being directly controlled and misled, they're paying for, right? By voluntary obligation. By voluntary obligation, the taxpayers are paying for the militarization and defense of the United States. Well, what I'm suggesting as a man who went through the experience of active duty service with the military, I'm suggesting to you that this is not the answer for the world. It's truly not. Peace. Peace is it's the way. There's no victory through war. The peace is the reward, and it is the path, and it is the way. Blessings to you, Jesse. The Missing Link Live. I know you've been active and busy. You don't stop, man. You are a dedicated man as well. For those who do wish to join, you are welcome to do so. I realized again, a great part of this is you. I've been kind of mistaken. Once I fall behind in the chat, then I really confuse myself, because then I want to go back, and then I'm missing this, and then I'm going back and forth, and I'm not paying attention to anything. So if I miss some of the chat, please, thank you. Thank you for your forgiveness, understanding. If you've got something, please, now might be a great time. We'll engage together. And you don't have to join the panel necessarily. A gem cannot be perfected without friction and grinding. In the same way, a person cannot be perfected without trials and tribulations. It all has its season. That truly is well said. Truly is well said. This question, is war natural? I don't know. I don't know. I know the case can be made that war and aggression is a natural part of the life that we know here on Earth. That case could be made. However, I believe it is natural for those who have, especially for those who have experienced war. I believe it is natural for those to grow to end wars. That wars, here, think about it as children, right? Children fight. Children actually throw punches and kick and get violent, and then the adults mimic their behaviors. But as we mature, we learn how to use intellect, right? Finding resolve and agreement as avoidance to oppressive control of thought and violence. But so in the evolution of mankind, we are one species, in the context of this conversation, at least. All of humanity is one kind of animal here on Earth. And I can understand early in the beginning, particularly as the tribes are venturing out and discover different people, different colors and different languages. I can understand there being some fear, and maybe some of the tribes grew up with some unhealthy practices. And so as those are uncovered, there's a little disagreement about what is and isn't appropriate. But anyway, by the time I was born, and if I'm older than you, then you can recognize, hell, it should have been a long time ago. We've grown through study, right? Facts, science, experience. It's shown that just because we're different colors or nations doesn't mean we're different. We all have families. We all require food. We all need to use the bathroom, right? We've got biological needs that are common, emotional needs that are common, languages that are different, traditions that are different. But we're at a time where we can move beyond the violence. We move beyond the violence through willful, intentional communication. We live at a time where I've been blessed. God has been allowing me to study different methods of communication. Dr. Rosenberg's nonviolent communication is an incredible source. There's many amazing communicators that I've found here online, people who I do hope to speak with, right? For those who may wish to join today, feel free. I'm not pressing, but I am inviting. My goal, my hope is to spend time with some great communicators. I'm not going to name names because of the recent things I've seen, but I have great faith, great hopes that this Jack Talcott character, you tuning in, you are, especially if you've been around a while, if you started seeing the potential and the value a long time ago and you're sticking around as I keep entertaining the chaos, praise God and thank you. Now, if you haven't been around as long, once you cut me a little slack, you move beyond the chaos, you find the value, man, oh man, there are amazing things happening here. There are people who are finding some inspiration, who are finding ways to incorporate some of the motivation. If I can be a part of that, that's my hope, right? To help create a better world for us all. And my hope is, I said these words in a conversation earlier. The reality is we're kind of dumb monkeys. We're all these rodents or ape-like creatures. We learn through watching, paying attention. That's where the advancement of our mind is. We're able to watch and pay attention and learn from others. But that's what children do. They actually grow up reinforcing, reflecting back patterns mom and dad show. When they start getting tantrumy and start saying bad words, you got to look at yourself and say, huh, where'd they learn that? Well, the world has been great waiting for every one of us. Every one of us. No, I don't want to generalize. I can only speak for me. I'm sorry for this stumble. In my experience, it was a blessing and a curse, maybe. They were few and far between from my memories, the ones that are standing out. They weren't intimately close to me, but I was blessed in my past to find some incredible examples of leadership, of generosity, of kindness. The main thing was leadership. That was the thing that stood out to me. And now that I look back, it makes sense. It was the qualities of leadership that I wanted for myself. If you go back in your mind and you look at the patterns of the past with the mind that's open, right? Invite yourself to be as a wise, more mature adult. Allow yourself to go through your mind with your heart open, willing to see things from the past from a different perspective, seeing if there was things that you missed, things you may have ignored or overlooked, because our subconscious memories, right? It may not be in the immediacy of what we can immediately recall, but deeper in the memories are details that our subconscious carries around. And one way or another, if we have conflicts in our mind between now and the past, the confused mind will rely on the primitive reactive instincts because you'll feel like you'll feel threatened. I'm wondering what I should do. We're coming up on the 1 hour mark, and this might be a beautiful time to end because I'm interested in exploring some of the video editing stuff, but when I've got 3 hour streams, man, that's a little bit overwhelming to go back and dig through. The topic, finding space for the divine. What is truly divine for us if you sit back? An honest answer, right? One to consider. What is divine? The answers. The truthful answers. The answers that solve. The answers that grow. The answers that reunite, reconcile. Those answers are the divine. It's through God the divine is known. It's through you that you can know God. It's really the way. Holy shit, man. God is so amazing. I'm so convinced more and more and more God is true. And it's not just God is true, it's that nothing else is. It's like the goal in life is to discover higher realms of consciousness. You will not discover higher realms of consciousness if you're looping in the past memories and opinions. Hey, whoops, where was it? There it was. Blessings and welcome, Conley. You're welcome to hit the link. All are welcome. Even Tommy is welcome to hit the link. I didn't pay much attention. Oh, praise God. So many of these names, man. No co-host is the best co-host. In some ways, I do agree. I really do. I appreciate that. And here, some delusions are better than others. There are, however, there's nothing better than the peace of knowing. The peace of knowing the truth means a mind without doubt. But you can fool yourself into a mind without doubt by convincing yourself of delusions. You can be so caught up, I know what is. Finding space for the divine. If you're not open to an adaptation of your thoughts, your definitions, your meaning, especially of other people, if you're not willing to change, create space for the change, you got to look at yourself. You're limiting you. You're trying to limit others. It's an unhealthy pattern of the human people. It's how God designed us. Let the light be single, right? Let your vision of the world be unified as though there is only one. There is only one in this world, and it is you. So how you treat others is how you treat you. How you treat you is going to be how you treat others. And if you're not paying attention to what's really happening, you can convince yourself of these ideas of delusions of grandeur. And delusions of grandeur, they can be harmless, but they can also be quite tragic. Delusions of grandeur can be shown through symptoms of boasting and aggression.
But there are subtle means by which someone would show us themselves as they tell us it's just us, there's only us, as in you.
In your
Do you feel
role,
like it's just do you feel like it's just you and your universe? Do you feel like it's your life that we're all participating in, Jack?
I'm
Feel
participating
like
in.
that's what you say. I don't even feel it. I'm pretty sure it's on record that's what you say day after day. Shout
It
to my
could be.
tower, I spelled it, it's gay.
Tommy, I am a fan of yours, sincerely.
I only come up here because your alleged fans say, Tom, please wreck our daddy. Please go up and remind our daddy he's just saying nothingness. Rebecca said she smokes weed. She forgot to mention she smokes pork. She smokes beef. She smokes cereal. She smokes ice cream and pudding and
See,
suppositories, anything that's left.
this is why I love you. Not for the insults, but because you are hilarious. You're
But
so
do
creative.
you ever care if people love you?
I do
Like
care.
it's easy to be this scrub, like neckbeard, fedora weeb, just walking around a high school saying everybody's their friend, but they're always hanging by their underwear from a locker while they say that. They're always upside down in a trash can or something.
I know. I've made those mistakes. I've been the nerdy guy. I've been the drunken fool. I've played all sorts of role, man. But
So between the times you were married and the times you were just out for married chicks, don't you think you could maybe just hang up that aspect? Maybe that's just a thing that don't. You've had, even I say I've had my fill of trim. Like, I don't have to keep chasing trim.
no, I'm not chasing. That's the key. And here, Tom, we agree.
So
But I
whenever
look,
they say avoid love and it'll come to you, that means go on some black ass chick's YouTube dating show. That's not chasing. It's not seeking.
well, in some ways, maybe I used her because I was an attention whore. And I still am. I'm still seeking
Yeah,
attention,
yeah. And you're
right?
still trying to use YouTubers. Yeah.
Yeah, I am. Because
This is
what's the
honesty.
goal?
Okay.
Right. I'm more interested in growing towards my goals than I am a match, right? Or hooking up.
Okay, well, the problem is what those goals are.
Right. Well, you know my goals. Here, for those who
I
may not,
do.
for those who
I
may
do.
not,
No, you don't have to review them. I don't
yeah,
think anybody's ever. It's just because it's a just because it's a crappy Photoshop doesn't make it rational or possible.
I think
You know
this
how
one's
many
likely.
famous women I could Photoshop bouncing off this BWC? It's probably not going to happen.
I know,
Probably, you know.
I know,
I
but
mean,
I
it's not
actually,
like saying I'm going to end all wars or anything.
well, that's the goal. Donald Trump
That
even,
that's a fool.
Donald Trump is like Chuck likes to promote. Donald Trump is even
Oh, are
talking
we speaking for
about,
Chuck? I can't sign off on that. You like to put me in the back and speak for me. I'm not going to sit here and have you speak for even anyone.
well, here,
You
I could
can
go
barely
back and
speak
try
for
and find the
yourself, Jack.
chat. I could try and find his comment, or if Chuck is there,
Uh,
I'm sure he'll share his encouragement for Donald Trump. He's
Over, yeah, I mean, as far as picking how we get to Revelations, I think Trump's a much more digestible path to Revelations than some leftist, tyrannical Talcottian Führer.
You brought up a great word, revelations. What do you think that's going to mean?
Well, for you, it would be the revelation that maybe it's just as unrealistic to get both families back as either of them. I feel like you're trying to get all of them back at once. Wouldn't that be weird? Or Mormon?
Dude, well,
Heck,
in what you're describing, it probably would be. We've got a new guest.
you could be Mormon and you could avoid being as Christian as you're not and be Mormon. You should talk to Provo about that.
I know. Probably, yes. Well, there's been disagreements. Hey, welcome. Look within. How are you, my friend?
I'd rather
You're not,
look without, am I right?
not coming through yet. No.
Louder.
Okay.
Shout
You'll
into
get
it.
it. You'll get it worked out. You'll get it worked out.
You know, I
Well,
pride myself on like my very first panel interaction with Look Within. EBT took it down, never to be posting it again. If there is anything I would remotely ever maybe entertain the thought of possibly apologizing for, it might be that night. But it was savage.
the first time you met Look Within, is that what you're referring to, or the
Well,
night
I don't know
on
if we met the
EBT?
first time we were on a panel together. It could not maintain public viewing even on EBT's channel.
Gotcha. Well, we'll take a chance. Every day is a new experience, and you're both welcome. I'm grateful to have you guys here.
Are you?
I really
Are you
am.
grateful?
I really
Really?
am. Yeah.
Is it because nobody else came up?
No, well, okay, interesting.
I feel
Let me
like you do.
let
I
me
feel
say
like you
yes.
do train wrecks better when you're not like. See, you. It's like whenever you put the train wreck thumbnail, it's like Chuck Norris making up Chuck Norris jokes. It just doesn't work. You need to lean into the meme and don't take yourself serious, but you have to fake it long enough for us to come up here and show how boomer and RT cultist you are. You're like if RT ran a cult.
I'm like if RT ran a cult.
I mean, just off the
Okay.
cuff, they can't all be winners.
Here, let's check in. Look within. How's your audio? Did you get it figured out?
It's better this way, Jack.
Still not there. You see what you want to find, Tommy.
Number one, that's a horrible Photoshop. And if we want like I showed Toilet Bowl Earth, I wrote the game of herp derp freeze frames. Everybody is that. It's why I judge the cowards by people like N-word PC that never cam up because they know. They know. And look at even OTW has the balls to smile with that pseudo felonious substance decayed mouth.
Hey, I think it's coming through. Thank you, Look Within. How you
Yes, sir.
doing?
Look Within, can you
Good, how are
justify
you?
Jack's word gymnastics? Like whenever he just says you look for what you want and acts like we can't say that about everything. Everything he says can be used against everything he says. And just the fact that his is what goes shows that grandeur, that obnoxiousness, that delusion.
Firstly, sorry for my setup not working. I haven't used it in quite a while. I'll get it figured out. I was trying to go the PC route, but I'm on my phone. So,
Oh, I'm not PC.
what were you talking about, Tommy?
The nothingness of Jack's deflectionary word gymnastics and how they can be deflected back onto him, but he'll say his go stands. Like you look
Hey,
for what you want, you get what you've offered, you receive what
Hey,
you're offering.
I mean, it is kind of true, but I apologize if
Wow,
I disrespected you in the past. Can I talk to you? I apologize if I disrespected you in the past. I want to move past
Are you
that. So,
telling me or Jack?
you, both of you.
Oh, well, you sound like one of these legit husbands and friends that are always like, whatever I did, I'm sorry. Whatever it was I did that I obviously can't account for because I don't realize it. I'm so sorry for that.
Oh my God. What does that say?
Take it if you'd
I would
like.
say, no. Look Within, I could say, hey, man, maybe I was a little out of line that time. We bumped into each other. It got heated.
I think we both were.
Up that,
I think we both were.
Deceased parent over and over again, like loudly, until EBT couldn't even leave it posted. I can acknowledge and repent on that. You're just like,
Right.
hey, whatever I did, I'm sorry.
What did I say that frustrated you so much? You seem frustrated with yourself more than anybody, to be honest.
Oh, now you're fucking up.
I also was.
Right, and so because you know me. Do you know how un-Slavic that is?
No, I didn't say that. I just said I wasn't happy with myself.
Kind of throw your hand up because like it's true, or because I can never tell anymore.
I'm usually agreeing whatever is true. And it is true.
Oh, it writes itself. I can feel it, Jack. I can really read it on you. The authenticity, the confidence in the based foundation of truth. No, not only does
I know we had to talk about your mother too and your issues with her, and I know that's where a lot of this stems from. And just
we had to talk about.
I just want you to know. I want you to know that's not who we are anymore. That's not who we have to be.
Is there a mouse in your pocket?
I'm moving past it. No, you and me, man.
This panel.
We can move past that, can't we?
Hey, please Look Within, please. How about Speak Within for a second? Can you bring up panel versus chat again? I've been looking for this guy. Does he know I coined that term, and does he know it's one word? Because I don't think he does. But you'd wrench him up, wouldn't you? You'd wrench him up.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he said, hello, Jack. Boom, wrench.
Right. I'm generous with those who are kind and supporting. And so far I saw kindness and support. I share it.
I don't get that from you. I don't see kindness and support from you.
Ooh,
I hate to talk about your mother, but she's in my class. She's got ping pong titties and a rubber ass. Can anybody in the chat finish that one? It's an oldie but a goldie. It's classic.
There's a claim from the panel verse that I-Fi coined it.
Yeah, right. If he's a little probably trying to help God is Real Hose's house down right now or something. I don't know. You know, leftist California. At least he knows he's on a globe. Melanie, you are so included where it matters, which is the real places. Someone says hi, Melanie.
Oh, that ties into my topic. You matter where it's real. And where is it real? Right here and now.
No, because I look for what is real. I see what I look for, and this is not real. This motherfucker right here is not real.
What is real, man? There.
Well, those court hearings. Do you want to go back through this, Jack?
Is this real, Tom?
Yeah, I get it. I resurrected Talcott Clips Collections Matrix thing.
Saw that. Thank
Yes,
you.
if it was done today, we would have made Morpheus Temu at home, yada yada yada. But that fool is too much on the outs from recording offline conversations, whether he realized that's what he was doing or not. I appreciate it because he didn't get the spicy stuff. He just did enough to incriminate himself.
Who did that?
And that's the guy you usually pull up here and use him as like a credibility vouch. Like, yeah, Hank agrees with me, right? The autistic guy?
I don't know. I lost track of where you were going. Sorry,
I
Tom.
was saying you usually bring people like Hank and Flow State and all these degenerate remedial back of the class smokers or special ed speds. You usually bring them up as like a credibility vote, a credibility vouch. And recently, I had some prevalent panelverse people on an offline panel that I gave Hank the big boy pants that he apparently wanted to join. And maybe I knew he was restreaming, maybe I didn't. The point is, he tried to be a zebra and he a little overly zebraed, I think.
Okay. Well, since you're
You
promoting
don't understand.
Flow, since you're
I'm
promoting,
not promoting Flow. Are you doing that machine lies thing where if I say a name, that means I'm cross promoting?
well, I was going to ask one of the mods if they mind dropping Flow State's channel. So, because there was a question.
Well, make
And
sure you
he's
don't
not-
drop mine.
He's not horrible. Oh yeah, don't drop
Flow
Station
State
2.
is horrible. Flow State is horrible. This is how much you're not aware of and how much you don't pick up on. He is absolutely squeezing you all like slutty whores. I warned Sherelle. I warned Rose. He will bring you up and grill you for details of your spiciest life details. He will deny and deflect and say he won't talk about his because he knows what he's doing. And once he's done with you, won't even buy you the Uber, Jack. Won't even buy you the Meta Uber and send you on your way. He tried to make the freak think he was something for a while. Isn't that sick?
Well, people are
Hey,
fascinated.
whoever subs to this channel and actually buys into Jack and believes this shit, don't like, share, subscribe, or anything. And if you're already subbed, be the fuck out. Haters to the left. We do
Yeah,
truth on my channel. We do truth and comedy fiction.
you're
And
so
we're probably going to be the first Panelverse radio stream.
well. You have an incredible opportunity in the here and now, right now. So fucking
If you
amazing.
want to play the Ernie song, yeah.
Well, it's just a matter of will. Will
What is
you?
the incredible opportunity? I can't make gold out of this horse shit, cow shit you're laying around your field here.
Why do you feel so limited? What if you could?
Because you are basic and a looping broad stroke thing. You are limited.
But what if you help me
You have
find
no potential.
variety and expansion?
What about variety and expansion?
What if you brought that? You help me with
It
that.
would well, this is the same reason we can't team, because it requires the truth and the foundational stance of the Jesus Christ thing. And
What
you
is
are
what
not
is the
that.
truth?
The Jesus Christ thing.
The Jesus Christ thing is the truth.
I mean, if you want me to as broad stroke Jack Talcott it as I can, is that what can you unpack the specificity of the truth you're seeking?
He was being very specific about
Tommy,
the
did you
Christ
just say this
consciousness.
show has no potential? I'm sorry, Look Within. You just said this show has no potential. That means I have no potential, and you can take that language and shove it up your ass. You're lucky you're around in this fucking place. Now show some respect.
Why did he backstage me?
Good to see you. Good to see you, Truth
I
Cup.
said
I'm
Jack
out.
has no
Excuse well.
potential.
Well, you're.
I said
hey,
Jack has no potential.
then I'm Jack's potential.
Right. I'm
Are you doing
growing
the Fight Club thing?
What?
Are you doing the Fight Club thing? No, he said
We don't
he's
talk
Jack's
about Fight
potential.
Club, man.
Right. We don't discuss that. You know that.
Okay, are we doing the guy's writings from the burnout house in the industrial area from Fight Club? And I think there's a Fight Club 2 trailer out, and that does mean someone's been breaking the first rule of Fight Club.
Well, he pointed out without exposing what you were criticizing me
also
of.
plays the word games.
You were criticizing me for a lack of variety and a lack of expansion, and yet there's evidence that you don't know that is solving that. So, Tom,
see, this is your word games, Jack.
It's not. It is and it's not. I'm trying to say
see, it is and it's not. It's bit non bit. It's like you're just you can't hit a beeline to truth and factual foundation. So you take me on these little dances, and you, like many other dance leaders out here in their little channels, you all do your own version of that, except for the ones that are just fucking based. Or can admit when they're wrong, or can propose an idea as maybe hypothetically, I'm not sure, but you isness motherfuckers out here just saying you are the thing, this is the thing, but then you can't expand or defend. It's silly. And my issue or my goal is the masses that seem to buy into it.
Well,
are you just gonna sit and click on? Chat,
I mean, technically, Tommy, the masses buy into the Jesus Christ thing because it is the number one religion on earth. So I mean,
well, it's the number one thing to say. There's going to be a lot of Christians.
Right? They don't practice it. I totally agree with you. They don't practice it. I live in the South, and I see so many people who are backhanded about their Christianity. They use it as a mask to like they're better than other people.
Like I've been going around this panel.
They're not integral. They're not integral. They don't handle their business correctly as they should.
How are you the gatekeeper of that?
Because poor service equals poor integrity. Poor service equals poor integrity.
Are you babysitting for Moose? And sub question: are you saying that because they don't practice that, or they practice incorrectly, they're not Christians?
Right. You should treat others how you want to be treated. Right.
So you're saying works over faith is how we get into heaven, how we are in essence Christians?
No, that's not what I said, and I don't believe heaven is a place. I believe it's a state of mind. Can I finish my sentence?
Oh, well,
I'm just trying to talk to you and have an actual conversation.
We are having an actual conversation. Please stop regurgitating.
You came in insulting me, but I'm not trying to insult you. It's not my truth or stuff, man. I'm not really to tell you the truth, I'm not a Christian per se.
It's everybody's cud.
Tom, please. There's a clear pattern here, and I don't want to be rude, but
that's the past. You're bringing up the past.
He's trying to have a conversation with you.
Listen, he said I came in here and insulted him. I've never seen. He's one of these side chats that's always jabbing whether I see it or not. And I don't give a fuck what either of you think of my demeanor, because you want to talk in front of the internet like this is day fucking one. And I know you're both a couple of fucking assholes that won't come up to my channel with this shit. The fairest fucking channel. The People's Open channel.
I've got some time. I can come over later and talk with you.
No. See,
well, what do you want then? You're saying you want something, and then you're changing your mind.
This is your retarded fallacy. I never said I wanted anything. What you should want is a can of mustache wax and a T-shirt that says "one cock at a time." I said you won't do it.
You're one-liner. You're amazing.
You don't want the fucking truth or the answers to the things you ask. Now, what is this Christian thing that people do wrong and lose it in the eyes of the truthers?
Listen, Tommy, you have a lot of skill. You have a mouthpiece on you. If you used it in the right way, I believe you could achieve what you want, and so could Jack. You shouldn't tell people that they can't achieve a goal. You should encourage them to do so.
Mr. Unslaved, did you ever think maybe I always have, that maybe I haven't lied out here and just the haters have narrated? Now, when I tell Jack he can't do a thing and I don't encourage him to do that, is because if he is a Christian, he knows that can't be undone. It's like going against your own religion to say you're going to end all wars. To think that life is about making everybody's life perfect and boring and everything they want becomes theirs with no complications, no hurdles. Well, masses of the Matrix pods died over a world like that. They couldn't grasp it. And would you really want that?
I'm sorry, I can't follow. I don't know what you're
because
talking about.
You're a feeble truther. Truther with an F, that is.
No, you're kind of missing the point, brother.
No, you are.
I know you think
Tell me you're a Christian that wants to end wars, and then explain to me how that doesn't go against the prophecy of the religion. People can make fun of me for believing it if they want. When they tell me I'm not that, that's when we have to have a POP.
Hey,
go ahead, Jack.
Are you familiar? I don't know if I should go this route or not, but I recently engaged with conversations similar to this through chat comments. And here in the chat comment, I've got, here I am, I think is his name.
Can I reiterate?
And crap. It's hard to communicate through chat, but this topic, go ahead.
Right. So why would you sit here and just constantly throw them up on a screen instead of focusing on your guests and replying to them? And you're just sitting there sharing chats of people I don't talk to. And here I am as a female.
Fair enough. Right? There's space.
She's been around a long time. No, she's been around a long time, Jack. Even on your channel.
And there needs to be a proper introduction when Illumitami comes up on the panel. He is indeed the uncontested panelverse president. So.
And I hate the introductions because it's far more often a negative deflection, diversion thing. I like just getting dropped in.
Can I ask you something, Tommy? Why is it Studio 33? I'm just curious.
You date back to that lore.
Do I? I have no idea. I haven't been paying attention to you for a long time. I just left you alone because I figured we weren't, in the right state of mind, both of us, to be compatible. But it doesn't have to stay that way, man.
Yeah, it does.
If that's your choice, I mean.
My God brings the sword and division, and everyone will choose their side.
Who is your God?
The Lord and Savior, Jesus Christos.
So okay? I got you. I'm just making sure, man. I'm just asking you.
I'm not married.
And Jack,
I didn't know if it was Yahweh or El.
I'm not going to go into a panel-verse lore.
I told you before the show that Star Fox would probably be on here. He meant to get on here earlier, but he was testing out his grappling hook. So he's looking at like another 30 minutes. He might be. It'd be an awesome guest.
If I don't see Star Fox, can you tell him something for me?
What?
Damn it.
I'll try to remember that.
Thank you.
But you should be here soon, so I told him to get here early if you could. But I'm gonna drop back. Sorry, guys.
What's with the in and out? You do have a picture of a dog. It's like, let me in. I gotta go out. Let me out. I gotta go in. Restance. I can start from zero. I'm still gonna smack you guys in your eyes.
Here, back to the ideas of Jesus, because that's where our disagreements are. Clearly.
You got that right.
Okay, well, what I'm confident that Jesus was teaching is...
You don't have to be confident, you can know.
Action. Right, I do know. Hey, welcome. Jubilee.
No, you don't.
Friend.
And this is what I hate about you, Jack. You've backstaged me for hours whenever we could have made progress, and now you always want... Here, let's restance and start from nothing before I've ever accounted for what you said previously.
He's trying to change, Tommy. He's not trying to change. He is changing.
Get the fuck out of here with your irrelevant, what are you even doing?
Tommy.
I'm welcome here. You are as well, obviously.
Anyone can answer this question because I'm so mind blown I had to come up here.
Did he leave or did you kick him?
I've heard people, conflate Jesus' teaching with capitalism and greed, like that he wants you to be rich. And I don't understand that, but I understand how people got there. I saw it happen. but that he just said that Jesus is incompatible with a world without wars because the man will be bored.
Mm-hmm.
How about he joins the army? How about he goes, puts himself in a war zone? Because if God wants wars, then wouldn't you want him to be in a war zone? Isn't that the most godlike place? And otherwise, doesn't like every god say not to kill each other and that maybe wars is what we don't want to have? Like, I really don't understand how you
kind of froze there.
And fight for war and think that's a good brand for Christians.
Welcome, Jubilee. Sorry I interrupted you. Good to meet you.
Good to meet you too. Just wanted to come up and make that point and hear what Jack had to say and possibly what Tommy had to say about it.
I froze when you were
You
speaking.
say you don't care what me or Jack had to say.
Welcome back, Tom. So,
Because, well, I never left. I feel like somebody kept throwing me out over triggered truth.
It was so Jubilee could speak. I wonder if you were able to hear what she said. My internet.
Oh, we could make a lot more room if you just took look within and made him seen without. Because he's offering nothing but the typical,
My name's Patrick, Tommy.
underdog.
Good to meet you.
Why don't you?
Oh, great. I'll file you under OTW.
Something real and true.
Jubilee, my wording is you can't be a Christian and believe that wars will end without the false peace of the Antichrist.
And Tom, you're coming from this position as
Biblical faith.
as though you have an authority, as though you have experience on the unfoldment.
As
And
if
what
God
you-
needs him to fulfill a prophecy, needs him to
Right.
come in and say, this is how it has to go. And if it's going to go God's way and there isn't going to be war, then we haven't done things according to the gospel of Tommy Christ.
This is the world we live in. People are divided by beliefs, and then they allow this division of thought to become reason, to be insulting and negative to each other. And it's not healthy. Welcome, Hank. Welcome back, brother.
I just wanted to verify something.
Okay. We got another guest, and I do want to come back to this conversation, but another man of faith. Welcome back.
Talcott, what's up, man?
Can
Can you hear me? Sorry. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, cool. What's going on, buddy?
I'm truly feeling blessed again today.
Right on, man.
And you're a part of this story.
Me?
You're another one of these online characters that God's allowed me to discover.
Okay. I hope that's not a bad thing. That could be a bad thing, I guess.
Are you kidding me? I keep bragging about how blessed I am.
Okay, well, yeah, okay. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Yo, sorry. You know, I'm a little bit of a cynic sometimes. I got to take things, the wrong way, always.
Well, here, you're public with you got a great personality. You're a lot of fun, and you're pretty open in public with your faith.
You're making a brown man blush over here.
I'm trying to win yes, I'm trying to win you over. The topic right before you came up generically was about ideas of prophecy and the future. Is mankind, well, I'm being accused of misleading people because I believe that with the return of Christ comes peace on earth. But people want to point to the wars instead. Where do you stand?
Where do I stand on what specifically is the question?
Interpretations of the Bible and the meanings of Jesus. Is he teaching us to prepare and to be faithful through the times of war, or is he teaching us to be leaders amongst men and to unite?
I like to keep it simple. When Christ says, if you love me, keep my commandments. And I like to keep it simple, for me right now. I'm not really one to talk about prophecy and stuff like that. As far as right now, I like to say I'd say keeping its commandments would be something that's paramount to any Christian.
That's the key. Hey,
I'm sorry if that wasn't like super like complex and stuff or whatever, but for me it works. I think it's sound for me. So
here, let me pause for a moment because we've got a friend to the stream who's joined, and I'm hoping today might be another opportunity. Welcome, Machine Lies. How are you today, brother?
Greetings. I'm excellent.
Good.
hey, look, it's my stalker. What's up, stalker?
Oh, stop.
That's funny that he said that because he's totally lying because he totally looked up my house, my family's house. So he's the stalker. He's actually.
What's up, Jack?
Team,
And you know what? And you know what's funny? Hey,
we're not being dragged.
Hey, hold on. Hey, Truther Cop, shut the fuck up for a second. Hey, Truther, shut the fuck up for a second. I'm trying to talk to you. Truther, excuse me for a second. Truther, excuse me for a second. Excuse me, buddy. Hey, Truther, shut the fuck up for a second. Yeah, here's the thing: is that this guy just said he wants to keep the 10 Commandments. So that's following Christ. He on a stream, he forgot the 10 Commandments live, and I recorded it. He actually couldn't even remember the second one. Okay.
Be more respectful, TB. Jesus.
What was it being respectful?
You're a stalker. You're a stalker faggot. You're a stalker faggot. You're a stalker faggot, pretending like you're not a stalker faggot.
You called my wife. You called my wife the N-word. So
no, I didn't. We played it live, and you lied about that too. He's lying again. He's lying again. I never did it. We played it live, and this fucker lied about it. He's a total cocksucker, liar, stalker.
Please pause. I truly care about you both. I truly love you both. You're clearly different people. What I've learned is being lived out between you guys, right? It's easy to find problems and insults, and people do become problems, and people do find insults. But we can find ways to move beyond and take the higher road. And I'm encouraging you both, Toilet Bowl Earth, Machine Lies. I'm encouraging you both to please grow in your faith so that you grow and overcome this.
I'm not going to be reduced to the level of this fucking ignoramus. Let me tell you something. No, hold on, Jack. Let me tell you something. He just lied about me twice. Okay, he opened up with that.
Nobody's lying about you. You said that live. It's
no. He opened up and said I'm a stalker, and that I called his wife the N-word. So that was false. That was false. He opened up with 2 lies. I just corrected the lies. That's all I did.
Okay.
That's it.
So now what?
I'm here to collect. I'm here to correct lies that are spread about me, just as you are, Jack. And I've helped you correct the lies that are spread about you.
How long?
How long?
Well, you've corrected the record before I put you and him in the back. Then I shared some observations of what I've found with the encouragement that we take the higher road, that we move beyond, and we figure out how to make the best out of this. But
sure.
Well,
that's what I'm doing.
I don't.
Yeah, I corrected the lies, and I'm ready to move past them.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Beautiful. And ideally, what we do as adults is when we find that we've offended others, particularly if we misspoke, we do want to offer forth the acknowledgement, apologies even. But I'm not suggesting.
I mean, here's the thing, though. It's a complete fucking falsehood. You can keep saying that it's a lie, that what I'm saying. You literally called my wife the N-word.
We played it on our stream, and that's a total lie. We played the exact clip on the stream last time he came on the stream, and it's a 100.
You can keep.
We started with 1 claim in the beginning. Now we're 3 claims deep into who said who to what. It was, we should have never went down this road. It's not for the internet. Okay. Just calm down. Everybody, be a good boy. Be a good boy, everybody. Love you.
I appreciate that.
I mean, I came here to say hello to Jack, and he just shows up starting shit. So, I mean, what do you want me to do? Am I a regular fixture here at the Talcott show? No, I'm not. I came out here. I was like, man, you hadn't been here in a while. I'd like to say hi to Jack.
I understand that.
And here this this strange maladjusted individual.
Pause, please. I'm agreeing with you. Okay.
Listen, at this point, too many claims have been made. I'm just removing because TML decided to jump off. If he wants to come back later, he's welcome. To Total Blur, too many claims have been raised. You got it. Not today, bud. Sorry.
This is where it's tough. The best way to find resolve is through communication. But if our communication is just rehashing the past over and over, we're not moving forward.
You know what the biggest shame is we lost the only feminine energy here.
Jubilee.
Right.
She took off with the chaos. I respect that. My intention and my hope is truly to clean up, to not clean up, because that would mean there's a problem. My intention is to truly improve in the space and the time that we share together with these live streams with Jack Talcott. I'm committed to sharing a space, right? I do want this to be a space where people can come and they can feel comfortable being themselves. But I also hope to be a good friend to everyone. And I believe a good friend encourages us to look at ourselves. Because if we don't look at ourselves when we're having problems, then we're just going to keep blaming and keep repeating the same issues. This online experience, while it's a lot of, here, I'm going to do this just for a moment. This online experience, and I'm speaking to you other creators, my peers in this realm of YouTube and other social media. We are a part of the development and the experimentation of human life and society in the free world, right? Allegedly, we're on this other side of the wall of censorship that North Korea and China and other places, maybe less limited in technology, they don't have the connection nor the censorship of what we are experiencing. But if we're going to be online, being a voice for society at this time, let's figure out and get clarity in what we're representing. Because I see so many, I've been blessed. Again, this comes back to Jack's individual story, the blessings. I've been so blessed to discover and to spend time with some incredible minds of today. I feel like I'm disrespecting at least one of them. I mean, the Machine Lies is a man who I've spoken of and I truly do admire and encourage, but each of us has the potential to bring ourselves down to the lower level, particularly when confronted with things. It's real easy for us to allow ourselves to descend. But then when we descend into the battle, guess what? Here's the topic. The topic is finding space for the divine. And if we're resisting or if we're battling, we're in the conflict with something, we are engaged. There's not much space for freedom. But here today, the purpose is finding space for the divine, finding space for the freedom for us all. And I think we can have freedom and space for us all. Okay? Here, actually, I'll welcome you guys back.
You were on a roll.
Oh, it took a long time for freedom and space for us all. I can settle this machine lies, toilet bowl birth bullshit. They're both garbage.
This guy's a
They
crackhead.
both play
This guy's a total
gotcha
crackhead
word
and a
games on
liar.
each other.
Yeah, this guy's a total crackhead and a liar. Why should I listen to him?
Fair enough. And we don't need that negative.
Yeah.
That negative.
Yeah, and thank you, and thank you for sharing that about me, brother Talcott. I have huge respect for you too. I don't think it's true, as this gentleman said, that I'm maladjusted. So I just try to point out the lies and all that type of stuff. This guy's absolute crackhead online and right up.
I love you. Okay, sincerely, as a brother. I've had to practice these lessons myself. Okay. We can't judge others for what they don't know, and what they don't know results, symptoms, their behavior. People don't know that they're being stupid when they're being cruel, when they're being selfish. They often think they're above. So, toilet bowl earth, I don't want to.
Do you think doxing people is okay, Joe?
I mean, do you think calling my wife a nigger is okay?
I never said that about your wife.
What the fuck you did? Okay?
Where's the video? Where's the video, you little cocksucker?
Hold on. What if he did?
Where's the video, you little liar, cocksucker, little bitch? Go ahead and play the video.
Hold on.
Faggot.
Hold on.
Play the video, you faggot.
Hold on. I have a question for
Go ahead and play
TV.
the clip. You little
Hold
faggot
on.
liar. This guy's a
Hold on,
fucking liar.
hold on.
Do you
No,
think because somebody called somebody a name, it's okay to die?
Hold on.
Please pause. Truth.
TB, he did raise a very valid point. Do you think doxing's okay?
I have the video. Yeah, when you talk about my wife, yeah, fuck you. No, absolutely. Fuck you.
Okay, well, there's clearly a disagreement that the words were said. So are you certain you've remembered accurately?
Yes, Talcott, I have the video. I have like clips of it, yes.
Okay,
So you think that an appropriate response to name calling on the internet, as we've had three people just hurling names at each other all day, is to dox their address?
Okay,
you think that that's correct?
Okay,
That's the okay thing to do. Oh, let's hear you fucking squirm, buddy.
Okay.
What? What? What's your excuse? What's your excuse about showing where someone lives? What is it?
We got another crackhead on panel here. Like, shut up. For goodness sake, this guy has said that, oh, we hide behind screen names and we don't use our real names. So if you use your real names, and you're fine with you're inherently.
What's your name? What's your name? Nobody knows your name. What is your first name? What is your first name?
I don't know my first name. That's not my.
Oh, what is you won't even put out your first name, and you think it's okay to dox someone's full address?
I'm not gonna tell
you think that's cool?
I'm not going to tell you.
You're just going to come up with excuse after excuse. Can you just recognize that it's wrong and apologize, like a man?
Here, truther.
Stay calm, man.
I feel like by putting them in the back, I feel like this could be minimizing regret. Okay, because in the moment,
I agree. I agree.
Insulting each other, I don't want them to deal with this. But this observation seems like, and here it's not TBE. It kind of applies to you more than others in this moment. Fake Christians that aren't really good people hiding behind some sort of religion as a way to feel okay about their behavior. In a great way, that's what these religions have been. They've been used as a coping mechanism and used as an excuse to enable divisions, segregation, oppression. That's historically what the religions have done. And I'm suggesting that who we are today, we are a part of the change. Should we choose to allow it? Should we choose to allow it? We've got the talent, we've got the creativity, we've got men and women with the abilities. What do we want to do? I want to change the world, man. What do we do?
So here I want to make a comment about TEE versus TML. Both of them have their own shows. They both have their own channels. This issue's been on the table for 6 months. They need to get in a panel together. They both have, I think, full license streamer. They could just, one can spin up a stream. They can talk to each other and resolve this. they didn't have to take your time, Jack.
I agree with you, Hank.
Well, I'm still trying to figure out what is my role, Jack's role, not only online, but in this world. And in my world, my life is partially online. So what we decide to do here online is an experience for my real life, as will it be for others who involve themselves with me. And if I want peace on this earth, well, obviously I want it with people who I care about as well. And I'm in this position where I truly have immense respect, especially for Machine Lies. He and I have talked offline and communicated, and I love wisdom. I'm a nerd. And so I'm kind of a nerd fan of his. And Toilet Bowl Earth, him and I have had some fun, amazing fun conversations. I'm a fan of his creativity. So what do you do when people you love won't get along?
What I do is just let them have at it, but you clearly don't have the stomach for this. So I would just say, tell them to figure it out on their own.
I disagree with your assessment of me. And I think they are capable if they're willing.
You know, I really just don't.
Yeah, I mean, right there, he was allowed to be on stage and I wasn't. So can I have my moment on stage as well? Because he was actually allowed to lie about me right there. He actually just said a
word out. He actually didn't even get a word out.
You know what? I'll just leave. If you want to talk to him, I have a personal conversation with him. I'll just fucking leave.
You can do what you want.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, no worries. Yeah, you go ahead and have a good conversation with him.
At this point, if this isn't resolved here, I'm not letting TB can't be coming here until this is resolved.
Well, so clearly,
unless TML is also here to talk about it. So that's until this issue is resolved.
Well, not to defend individuals, but to kind of defend the facts. I think the Machine Lies was the greater instigator of the drama in this case.
Well, we do have a very hold on, guys, because we got freaking Star Fox in the chat, Neo Antifa.
So lost here. Truth or Cop, can you just be quiet?
Feel free to jump on, dude. Please. See, we're not getting to Talcott. I don't know if you're gonna have this guy on panel. I can't be on panel.
I'm so lost. What is going on here,
dude?
Can I speak like 2 sentences here? Are you guys so triggered by me?
I'm not.
Okay. Well, thank you, Talcott, man. I honestly, I thought I was just coming here to say hello to you. I didn't mean to cause so much trouble. I appreciate your time. I don't really appreciate the weird oh, Christian, you're not being a real Christian stuff. Like, you guys aren't my judge. You're not my priest. You're not. I don't know who you guys think you are. It's strange. You guys don't want me doing that to you. Certainly, you shouldn't be doing that to me. But I'll leave you guys and let you guys have a great night. I didn't mean to cause so much trouble. I wish you the best. I was coming up here to just have a chit chat, non-serious, see what's going on.
Stop? Can you
maybe we could converse, sort of thing? But obviously, this has gone a little hayward. Go ahead.
TV. Go ahead, please. We can move past it. I appreciate that you joined. You don't swing by that often. Yeah, what you said was true, and we can have fun conversations. I thought we could as well, but there's personalities that just seem to not be willing. You got to own part of that though too. You're part of all the chaos that you bring, but
I understand that, Jack. But the man insulted my wife, and I'm not just going to sit here and cuck out about it. I'm going to go on the offensive. I'm going to
thank you. You've shared that before.
Yep, good. Great having you. And that was Toilet Bowl Earth, everybody. Amazing guy who can't fucking admit that doxing online is wrong. Fantastic.
That's
now
where I was going to take it. Yeah.
Yeah, Star Fox is in the chat, and he's about to come up, and I'd love to see you guys have a conversation with him. Because he's never really gotten the space to speak.
The downside, though, is we are hitting this little 2-hour point too.
I'll carry it. Well, because I can end it too, right? You can leave.
Maybe it might be better another day, or do you?
Well, I think he just got here.
Okay.
Literally, and I've been asking him to come, and he just got here.
All right.
I think he's about to come back.
That would be a wonderful change because the drama, it's unfortunate. It's what's that look with you?
Do you have other things you need to take care of, Jack? Just out of respect for you.
No, my life is truly I surrender my life to whatever is revealed, and my life is what it is. I have a lot of freedom in my schedule, in my opportunities, and this is what I realized. Here, I'm getting a little background stuff. This is what I realized, though, in this adventure of life that we're sharing. It's up to each of us, despite the circumstances, despite the past experiences, maybe even despite the company we share. It's up to us. We've got a lot more control in our lives that many people are willing to accept. I didn't want to accept the responsibility for my misery. I didn't want to accept responsibility for my disagreements, for my bad feelings. I didn't want to accept any responsibility. I found plenty of blame, plenty of excuses that showed why I was right. But you know what? I was wrong. Forgiveness is the path. And the path of life, it is literally now. Whatever the past was brought you to now, and now starts the future. And every moment is a new moment. And if you allow every new moment to be new, then you can surrender from what the past was. You surrender your life to whatever is revealed. Whatever is true is true. If you don't like what someone says or what happens, right? Tragic car wreck, a mysterious accident, anything. You don't like it, it doesn't change anything. You don't like what someone says, too bad. So what? It was said. Now what? Okay, so we can offer forth corrections, but arguing and fighting over opinions, it literally shows how nuts we are. And the whole world is nuts. The whole world has been misled. Collectively, we've been allowing, the selfish to take control. I saw it. We've got a guest. Thank you.
Yeah, Star Fox has arrived, everybody.
Let's bring him up. Sideways, but welcome, brother. Hey, whoops, you're muted, though. There you go.
I had an idea it would do that, but I don't know why it does that. I did get it once right when I was talking with Truther. It was actually orientated the right direction. How you doing, Jack, L-Dub, and then I think I heard Truther in here?
Yeah.
Good to see you, sir.
Welcome and greetings. Good. I think I learned of...
Go ahead. Sorry.
I think I learned of you, and Truther, I think, mentioned you, or I saw you with him recently. And I've been encouraged to have some conversations with you because it sounds like you've led a life. You've been tested. You've been through quite a bit, and you're on your own mission, it seems.
Yeah, I've been through a lot of shit. Like I said, the past 5 months of my life. Been a living hell. There's still stuff going on. Unfortunately, I can't really talk about it. It's a closed door conversation. It can't be talked about on stream. It just can't. But sure. I come from a background of like Antifa and leftist and like a history of it, doing protests and helping people organize back during the protests, the Palestinian protests in like California. I used to have a Twitter account that I was linked to a lot of people on, and I would like pretty much report where like the police are at and where they're going, and you know where different people are protesting at and what kind of gear they're putting on. So it's kind of like in the military where you're just like doing intelligence ops for people, and then posting it, and then people go to that Twitter channel and they see us like the updates, and they can like kind of like change your direction or whatever the idea for the protest is, you know, at the time. But you know, things did change after a while. I got burned by a few members, but I don't want to talk too much about that. And long story short is basically this neo-Antifa, people are like, what the fuck is that? You know, because like I guess there's rumors about me like dabbing in Nazism and shit, but that's not really true. And I guess I'm just here to try to explain it. So if anybody has any questions, I'm more than happy to talk.
What do you know of me? What I'm doing?
Honestly, I don't really know anything about you aside from the other time that we chat. I know you're friends with Truther. I've watched a little bit of you. I see that you can have a moral compass to yourself, and you want to have peace, and you don't want division. And that's kind of like with Neo-Antifa. What I kind of want too is unity, because. But that's what I know about you. I don't want to talk too much into that yet.
No, I appreciate it, because that might be the connection. I'm a very open-minded man.
Yeah.
But my life path, I've been an advocate, and I don't know, I've developed into an activist. And then I was blessed with a change in direction, a change in career path. So I invested and dedicated myself to studying transformation, transformational methods of healing for the mind, body, and spirit. So with the heart of an activist, the education of a coach, my hope is to stand on what I've learned from organized labor and carry the mission of Veterans for Peace, bring these ideas of radical reforms into Washington, D.C. Because freedom can happen. It starts with the free. The imprisoned, they don't really know. They don't see a way out. But my path, and I think many of us who are crossing paths in these online communities, whether it's a part of the convoy demonstrations or activity in the past, whatever way, there's a lot of people who are learning lessons and joining together. And I think we are the radical ideas, that as we start uniting together, we become the new ideas, the new ways of thinking, the new vision for this world. It's through us. And the vision I see is led by the truth, not authority, not wealth. Now, how do we make it happen? That's the question I hope to discuss each day.
Okay, so you talk about like activists, like what kind of work have you done in activism?
I've been involved with many different organizations, but my background as an adult, I spent over 20 years at the United States Postal Service. And for about 14, 15, somewhere in there, a good chunk of my time, I was involved with the American Postal Workers Union. So the idea of trade unions was brought into my mind. And then I started looking into labor history, found a love for the IWW, the International Workers of the World. I got associated with them here in town. And then I was placed in the executive board of the local labor council through all these organizations locally, though, I got involved. Social justice, environmental justice, especially through labor or Veterans for Peace. They're paying attention to a lot of different aspects.
Yeah, I know a lot about the VA. I go there often. In fact, I was just there the other day. I go to like a PTSD group, and it's a smaller group, like 5 or less sometimes. But we just pretty much shoot the shit and talk about whatever we want. Those groups last about an hour and a half usually. The doctor's pretty cool there, but I'm bringing it up because I was talking with Dr. Rupert, who's one of the people who runs it, and he was talking about like Doge coming in, and they were sending out those emails to the federal employees. You know, everybody who was probationary got fired, and like they're asking for like list 5 things you've done in the past week and send it back. And like there's a lot of people. I think they let go about 1,200 employees across the region of where I'm at, and like he's good on his job. But there are people at the VA who are worried, you know, and there's a lot of people who were hired by the federal government with the diversion and inclusion program, and now that's stripped. And keep in mind, I am a Trump supporter, and so it gets weird. But there are also, that's where that neo-Antifa thing goes in with unity and kind of right and left uniting, is the fact that there are things that I'm not going to agree with, and I do agree with. But I mean, seeing the effects of how it happens in the VA, maybe they're going to save money, and they say that money will go back into the pockets of helping more veterans and stuff. But the kind of at the VA, the whole vibe there is kind of like just like some people are like worried about losing their jobs, I think. And, you know, some people should lose their jobs there. Some people, I wish I could just tell you who, but there are good people at the VA. I don't always want to talk shit about them. And I've been like institutionalized by them, and they call it involuntary court holds and stuff. And it got so bad to the point to where like I literally had to fight for my right to be free. And like I actually won that fight once on one of my streams. I put it's called Zelda Fights a Court Hold, and you know that's where the VA police basically agree with me that one of the times I was hospitalized, the doctor lied about my homicidal suicidal ideation in order to hospitalize me. And so I go there, and I'm always worried that they're going to lock the doors, they're going to keep me there. Sometimes I worry about the stuff I post, because I do post a lot of crazy stuff on my channel and things like that. But as far as the relationship with the VA goes, there are people, like I said, that I think do a good job, and there are people that probably shouldn't have jobs anymore, you know, who don't care for veterans. You know, they're like, I met a social worker once, and I was telling her about all kinds of crazy stuff going on in my life, and she just told me, well, what do you want me to do about it? And I'm just looking at her like, what? You know, and I talked to somebody else, and they kind of had the same response. And I get pissed because it's that, you know, the apathy, there's a lack of emotion. Like, we don't really give a fuck about you. And I hope those motherfuckers get fired, because I don't understand how people who work for the federal government could treat veterans like they don't fucking matter. They don't exist. And that shit kind of like pisses me off. And that's what kind of like fucking makes me want to protect myself. Because if the police don't protect me, if motherfucking the VA don't protect me, I'm going to fucking protect myself. And I'm going to do what I have to do, make alliances with who I have to make alliances with, and try to build like a kind of a relationship to combat all the bullshit that goes on and things that happen in life. Because all of us know what it's like. Life fucking sucks these days. But anyway.
Well, for those who are filled with enemies, yeah, life sucks.
Yeah.
I actually know. I can understand a lot of what you're talking about. There's probably a greater picture. There's a reason. There's a reason our paths have crossed. What you talked about, you can believe. I think he said you can't believe, or it bothers you to see these men and women at the VA going through the motions. I present the case that's the American way. The American way is people go through the motions with the minimum that they can get away with for the paycheck. People don't give a shit about the jobs they do. They care about themselves. Selfishness. Selfishness is what has corrupted and destroyed mankind as a whole. The selfish rulers, the selfish politicians, the selfish generals, the people who want to create a name for themselves, and they'll risk the lives of others. And then trauma is created. So, brother, for your service, I honor you. I'm grateful you made it back home.
Thank you, sir.
Have you discovered Veterans for Peace by chance, the organization?
No, I haven't. I've tried a lot of different groups, but no, I haven't tried that one. I can definitely inquire about it when I go back to the VA, see if they have that here. Hey,
there's divine time for everything's. The Missing Link Live, a friend to the show, and he's offering, can you get Star Fox contact info? So if you're willing, it's an opportunity to share your story. That's what the Missing Link Live does.
Yeah, I'll get him in connection there.
Okay, please. Yeah, I'll definitely look into it. I appreciate the Missing Link Live.
Thank you. See, life is coming together. We were tested in the past. We were bruised. We were beat up, maybe even damaged. But we're not damaged. We're not broken. Maybe we're a little tightened up. Maybe we're a little rusty or a little painful sometimes, but we're still here. And as long as we're still here, we're still alive. That means there's a greater purpose. It means the divine has not given up faith on us. That's what I had to convince myself. The world around me kind of gave up on me. They washed their hands and said, "Get away from me, Jack." Well, I'm still here. And if I'm still here, that means there's undiscovered opportunities. And I take it as a sign. I believe that all things happen for a purpose. I'm a man. I credit all things to God. God is revealing this. We are the goodness that God created to be alive and to be who we are at this time of earth. And what's happening with the development of technology and communication, you're a long ways away. I wouldn't have met you if it wasn't for the connection of the communities and the individuals, people online. But I've been blessed. Part of this adventure has been the discovery of some amazing people. And I'm wondering, we got Brett has returned as well. You familiar with Brett?
I'm familiar with Brett. He's a good friend.
All right, wonderful. Well, welcome back, Brett.
Howdy. Star Fox. I just wanted to help Star Fox for a minute with his camera.
Oh, thank you.
Star Fox, when you move your phone from vertical to horizontal, and you go back and forth, in the bottom right-hand corner, there'll be a little icon that'll pop up in the shape of your phone that has a little turny directional arrows. You just got to tap that little icon.
Okay. That's probably something I do now that I'm in the show, right?
Yeah. You can just go back to vertical and then hit it again and go back, and you'll see the little icon appear. Just tap it, and it'll correct your video so that you're not sideways all the time.
That'd be amazing.
It's a little icon that'll pop up and disappear. It goes pretty fast.
Let me mess with this. All right, so back. You're talking about I hit back and it says, "Do you want to leave this side?"
No, don't hit back. Just tilt your phone. Just twist your phone. Go back and forth with twisting your phone, and there'll be a little icon that'll appear. There you go.
All right, hey,
you got it.
Blessings. I appreciate that, Brett.
Perfect.
See that? It did it again. Oh my god!
Yeah, no, you got to hit the icon again. If you go back to vertical or horizontal, you'll have to hit the icon again. It'll pop up.
Let's try it again.
Cheers! I just wanted to help Star Fox with his video there because they're freaking out.
I don't think I got it right, but it's okay. It's all right. I'll be sideways for now. But yeah, you were talking about, sir, Jack, you were talking about like connections and people meeting online. I do believe strongly in that because like that's how kind of like Neo and Tiva got its jump start in New York City. I was going through a bunch of shit at home, and I finally just said, you know what, fuck this. I was living in isolation for 6 years, and I literally just grabbed some money loaded all my shit up in the car, and fucking took off for fucking a while. Like, I think it was like 7 days I was gone. I headed straight towards DC, and then I went up to New York, and like there's a lot of people that I met, like in DC. I met a girl named Vegas. We accused each other of being FBI agents for like 15 minutes. It was hilarious. But I hadn't had a girlfriend in 8 years, and then I go to DC and I meet her, and freaking we drink and have fun, accuse each other of being FBI agents. So we came up with the idea to go do drugs together, like smoke weed. So we went and smoked weed, and then we were chill and cool. Had fun with her, fucked, filmed a porno, deleted the porno. And this is all true, but fucking it was the first experience of me having like intimacy in like 8 years, because like there's been 8 years I had a girlfriend, 6 years of isolation. I was like fucking done. So that thing in DC really like helped heal my heart. And even though it was only for a few nights, I had a lot of fun, and fucking I felt great. So going into New York, I was confident. I was happy.
Hey, Jack, you want to bring me up because your Truth or Cop appointed guest suddenly turned garbage on your train wreck show? A social worker is not a psychiatrist or a phlebotomist, and don't go to the shoe shine guy for your house wiring. I don't know what the fuck Truth or Cop's pulling here, but he's reverting back to garbage. Jack, you're consistently being more and more garbage, and I don't know.
Love you too, Tom.
Okay.
He's always so filled with encouragement and optimism. He's got such a gift to him, doesn't he?
Never really heard him before that much until the bits and pieces, but basic examples. But I don't know the guy, and I don't know why he's mad at you guys, so I won't comment on it.
Well,
he's not mad at us. He's mad at himself.
Yeah, it happens.
This is the path of life. Now, not to place myself above or anywhere different than anyone else. I'm just had a different experience and a different education. I've been studying human behavior, and these patterns, they're not unique. Tommy is a great guy. He's a great guy, but he's filled with opinions, and he lets these opinions get in the way of getting along. I used to do that. And so I think this is the key. We're a part of the unfoldment of time here in the human experience. And if we can find ways to get along with each other, doesn't have to be perfect, but if we can get along with each other well enough to understand each other, we can work together. We can overcome the divisions of wealth and authority. We can bring forth disclosure and transparency, because the only way the United States is going to get control over its government, it's through transparency. These illusions of bureaucracy and the hierarchy of all these obedient employees, they make it impossible to implement change. And that's what they know. So you were talking about the VA and the state of the VA.
Yes, sir.
Good and bad. Like you said, there's good, hardworking men and women who care about the service of the fellow veterans or the other veterans. Yeah. And then there's people who go for a paycheck.
Yeah. I just think in a crisis where somebody's been, I mean, shit was getting so bad I got hospitalized, and everybody was telling me I was crazy because I had all these fucking cars driving through my neighborhood and stopping in front of my house at night. And a lot of them were the same fucking vehicles, so I started investigating it, and then shit just got worse from there. And it pisses me off because, like I said, I can't go into why I think all of it happened. I wish I could. Someday I might be able to, but I go to the VA and they fucking hospitalize me, telling me I'm in psychosis. And I have antipsychotics that they give me, and they accuse me of being off my meds. That's how it starts. It's like, we don't think you're on your meds. I'm like, I'm on my meds. They're like, well, we don't think you are. And then they say you're suicidal or homicidal ideation when you never even fucking show it. And then they just throw you in a hospital and shit. But like that kind of shit makes it harder when you go and talk to like social workers and like other people, and you tell them about what the fuck is going on and how you're flipping out, and like they just hear what you say and they're like, well, what do you want me to do about it? It's like, what the fuck, you know? Have a little empathy for fucking, first of all. Don't fucking just look at me. Because when people act like they don't give a fuck about what I'm going through, like not like just like talking about what I'm going through, but like all the shit going on, and they act like they just don't fucking care. It doesn't reinforce any kind of stability in me. It makes me feel like, okay, so these motherfuckers don't have my back. So I'll go get people that do have my back, or I'll make friends with people. And that's just my mindset, because I want to protect myself and I want to be surrounded by people. But that's where kind of like live streaming and IRL and IP2 come in, because in that isolation, I didn't just sit in that house and do nothing. I like read the KGB Alpha training manual. I have like a CIA guide to clandestine operations. I probably got like 19 different books. I should show them sometime, or I'll do a stream. There's too many books to name, but all of them are pretty cool, because like I'm really into like intelligence and like clandestine stuff. It's just how my brain works as a military police officer and also a forward observer, which is like calling for fire and stuff. So that's just my interest. But yeah, looking like fast forward to now, I'm just kind of like, I got a bad taste in my mouth with all of it, but I haven't given up on hope, and I still collaborate. And like I said, live streaming, there was a day where I was feeling completely sad and alone. And I used to like bomb my family with text messages at night prior to YouTube, because I had no fucking friends. And I literally sent them messages throughout the middle of the night. But when I found YouTube, I found that connection. I found a way to express myself, even though my videos are a little crazy, but it's me expressing myself. And I found a way to be creative, you know, and that's when the live chat starts coming in and people start watching and interacting. You know, if you're not just posting videos, but you're doing like live streams.
Can I say something to you, sir? Not to stop you, just before you get too far. What I'm practicing in my life, and I think it might help you, is you become most like the people you surround yourself with. So I understand those people said you said they didn't have your back, and it sounds like they didn't. And there's a lot of people in the world that won't, because they're too busy. They're too busy taking care of themselves, and they live in a mindset of scarcity. And Jack and I were talking about this earlier, but if you find people who are successful and more successful than you, and they are willing to take you under their wing and you ask for help, stick with those people. Definitely stick with those people.
I agree.
Don't look for anybody else, and be careful of the people who will just take you in when you're feeling down. Because personally, I know this from where I grew up. I grew up in Bakersfield, California. There's a lot of gangs there. We have Sureños, Norteños, Vice Kings, whoever there, and that's who they take in, is the little broken kids, and they turn them into gangbangers. And those little kids think that they think that those people have their backs, and they do not. They're there to use them up and spit them out, and they don't care if they get shot and killed by the police. They have them do horrible things for that gang, because they told them that, oh, if you do this, we'll take care of you. Be wary of those people. That's all I wanted to say to you.
Yes, sir.
Respect to you.
Yeah, I appreciate that, sir. I agree that sometimes you can get vulnerable and stuff and come out of isolation. But I in my isolation, I also like, I kind of like, you learn to just, when you're always paranoid and on guard, to watch your back. And, I do look out for stuff like that. And people who would like do exactly that thing, and just be like, hey, come on in, we got you. And I mean, I'm very cautious about it, but there is a situation where that's going to be happening soon in New York. And I have no idea what's going to happen meeting up with people, but I hope it all works out. And aside from hanging out with people, I do have plans myself to go out and do some pretty cool stuff, like the One World Trade Center. When I was there, I was in Washington Square Park, and I could see the One World Trade Center when I came out of Washington Square Hotel, and it was pretty cool. And I didn't actually get to make it there, but long story short is, before I went to Iraq in 2007, We trained in Indiana, really cold area. It was freezing and snow. It didn't make any sense because we were about to go to Iraq in a desert, and it's like, why are we freezing our asses off before we go to the desert? But anyway, before we actually took off to Iraq, because they got to train you up for like a month or so. I don't remember how long it was. And then once everything's signed off by the commander or captain, you're good to go. And then they send you over, and but I was talking about Indiana. Oh, the One World Trade Center. So in 2007, if you look it up, I was there. It's in New York City. They let us go to New York City for about 4 hours. So we showed up there. I remember walking through a park. I think it was that park, the Financial District Park near One World Trade. And we got to walk to Times Square. I saw McDonald's and like Hard Rock Cafe. And I was in uniform. And I was so excited because I was like, I'd never been here. And I was like, oh my God, this is so cool. I've been around New York before.
It's the hardest thing about like, because you're like from a totally different sector of the internet, and nobody like really understands like the key concepts here. Like, because you've been in like these huge IP2 movements as well, so it's like people here aren't too familiar with it. But Jack, did you want to add to this conversation? Okay.
I'm ready to wrap up.
Yeah, I figured you would be. I want to get you out of here if you wanted to get out. But dude, I did appreciate that.
Actually, can I say something real quick, Truther?
Of course, dude.
I actually would love to wrap up too. I'd love to talk to Jack some more, and Truther, I love talking with you. It's fun. But I'm sorry I kind of screwed this up. I'm about to release a video later. I was out at a lake, and remember that grappling hook? I was out there trying to film, and I got some stuff, and I wanted to upload it. But on the way back from the lake, I hit a bunch of traffic, and it was a bitch. And I also had groceries I picked up on the way home. So for some reason, I thought East Coast time was an hour ahead of us, or it is an hour ahead of us, but it freaking, I don't know. That won't happen again. So if I make another commitment, I will not be late. And I do apologize for that because I appreciate the opportunity to come out and share myself and my story and collaborate and talk with people and hear what you guys have to say as feedback, because it means a lot. Like I said, we're still kind of in isolation, but we're not anymore. That's a beautiful world. We found a way to communicate with each other across the internet. It's kind of like, I love it. That's what I love about all of it. It's amazing. But
good, thank you.
Focus on those good things.
Yeah. And dude, anytime, every day at 5 p.m. typically. But just
every day?
You know. Yep. Most of the, yeah. Anytime.
Is there a way to like schedule for 6 if I'm like busy around East
Coast? Oh, you don't have
time?
to schedule. Like typically we're around 6:30 is around the time we start wrapping up. Maybe a little later. But we went so long today waiting for you. But dude, I appreciate it. I really appreciate it. Dude, it was worth the wait. Thank you.
Yeah, we'll be in contact. So if you guys want to do this again, if it has to be 5, I'll plan ahead and I will be here on time. And we can pick up from there. We didn't get a chance to talk about like Neo and Tifa that much. I didn't get here like a lot about you guys to switch the stories. But as far as that Nazi thing, drinking with Nazis, look at it as an investigative journalism perspective. You know, when you go on like Vice and they're talking about interviewing neo-Nazis and stuff. I mean, we can do that too. We can interview different kind of people. You guys want to talk about change and stuff. I mean, expose yourself to as many different type of people as possible to an extent, but, you know, learn from each other. And that's what's going to make us kind of united, I think. So that's all I have to say.
Yes, sir. Absolutely, dude. I agree. Thank you.
Yes, sir. All right. So if Jack's heading out, I'll head out and we'll be in contact and we'll do this again. Good vibes.
Please. Be well.
Thank you for joining. And Truther, you'll help him possibly connect with Jesse too. Missing link. Yeah. That'd be another great opportunity for him.
Yeah. I'm going to jump out of here and let you guys finish up if that's cool. All right. Be well.
Blessings. Look with him.
Hey, Jack. Yes, sir. I'm going to let you go too. I just want to say it was a great build on your part. Your monologue in the beginning was amazing. We have a lot more in common than I thought we did in the past, and I can see you're growing in that direction. I respect you a lot for that. Hopefully we can get talking again here soon. Have a great night, sir.
Much love. Appreciate it. Genuinely. To all who clicked the link, joined the panel, all who clicked the notification and found your way here, whether it's live or later. And if you did tune in later, thank you. But I do encourage you, especially if you're new, go back, speed it up, skip the 2-minute intro, and see if you can receive the energy of the day. In the beginning of each of these streams, whether we run for an hour or 2 hours, 3 hours, holy cows, man, there's hours and hours and hours of content of Jack on here. Praise God. Praise God that I get to be me. Praise God that you are you and you're here with me. However you found your way, whether it's in the live or the later. Golly geez, I cannot do this in good conscience. I can't shut down without giving our friend Tommy another chance. He's patient and persistent.
I think we're under a misunderstanding of who's giving the chances. You've clearly been infiltrated. Truther Cop has long time been a cuck boy to this Star Fox, G Abbott, the whole crew, and you can really nail them because years into it, they're still calling me a groomer, but they're all just doomer coomers. And you're a boomer, Jack. Do you really think anybody else in this panelverse can president? Because you sound like you were trying to host a pop, and you don't have the capacity for the pop. You know why I can do the pop, Jack? Because I have the discernment of being equally disgusted with all these flat earth, Jesus path sharing, you are your own salvation bullshitters.
I know. You've got disdain for everybody. I love that.
No, I have disdain for lies and enemies of my God. You didn't let Jubilee get answered. You let people misinterpret my thing. You got old Joe saying I'm scared. I ain't scared of shit but my God.
I know.
And you should be scared of my God, Jack. He doesn't like when you say the things you say. He's already said them, and they're out there. And this guy that says he's military police, I want to know where he went. I want to know why Star Fox has been in the chat for so many seasons, and yet he comes up here obviously selling himself after Truther Cop was so oh, we got to get Star Fox. He's coming. Star Fox is coming, everyone. I have Jack's keys now. And did Moose just get you? I thought Moose.
Yes. Oh, my. Wait, I don't want to cut you off because golly geez. Let it out, please. Moose showed up. Golly geez. I got anxious and I interrupted, and he was on a flow, man. And when Tommy gets on a flow, you're right, Melanie. You're right. Golly geez. Let him cook. Be calm, Jack. You guys are telling me you know me. Tommy knows me too, man. That's why he's fired up. I love that guy. I love you. I love the guests who showed today. You know, there's many people who claim this Jack Talcott guy is a train wreck. So if you're one of those, stay tuned. And if you see the journey where we are breaking new trails, if you see the value in breaking new trails, discovering different, holy cows, man, we discover all sorts of things. I'm going to wrap it up. Sincerely, to all of you tuned in, the now or the later, my love and appreciation goes out to you. Please do the algorithm thing and help the cause. Do the share, the thumb, right? Subscribe, and invite others. Till next time. We'll be back likely the same time, 2 p.m. West Coast, 5 p.m. East Coast. That's the intention, at least for tomorrow. We'll see what tomorrow brings. Until then, choose love. Peace for everyone, and live without fear. Thank you, and God bless us all. Peace.